What's going down, beautiful people? It's Valet Delroy. This is Ride with the Valet. I'm glad you're here with me today. Today I'm going to be doing a summary of the very first series that we've done for this year. It's called Living in Forward Motion. 4 stages that are going to help you to keep moving when you're feeling stuck. Okay? So we're going to go around that today. I've already done the 4 videos if you want to go back and watch them. But this is going to be a quick summary, synopsis, that'll break down for you real quick what all those are about. I'm hoping I can help you today. I'm hoping that you want to live in forward motion. So if you're ready to get started, let's get moving. Now, before we get started, I have a few thoughts that I do want to share. But they're just something to keep in mind when we're thinking about going or moving from a place where we feel or where we think we are stuck, okay, to the place where we're trying to go. We're trying to ask the question, blank or boom, is where I'd like to go next. So ask yourself that question right now. Say, where is it that I'm trying to go next? Okay, am I trying to get from the place that I'm in, okay, internally to somewhere? Am I trying to get from the place that I'm at physically to somewhere? Am I trying to get somewhere emotionally, mentally, spiritually, practically? Okay, let's ask that question because it's going to be very important. You see, I believe that every day is a new day to do something that you weren't able to do in the past. I also believe that the past, although it affects our present, okay, should not be something that keeps us, okay, from being able to move forward. A lot of times we're sitting in moments that we've trapped ourselves in that have happened to us in the past, or we're unable to move forward because we're worried about the results that have taken place in the past, or we're simply just not able to look forward because we're too busy looking back, feeling stuck in that same spot that we've been in, not being able to let go of the thing or the situation or whatever's hanging on our head or in the back of our head to let us move forward. But let's understand one thing, that where we're at is not a move of evacuation. We're not trying to evacuate our life, okay? Whatever's going on right now, okay, if you need help or if you're in danger, you need to seek that right away, okay? Because that might be a move or a moment of evacuation of something that's taking place in your life. But if that's not the case, okay, this is not an evacuation of your life. This is a continuation of your life. It's okay to be where you're at, okay? It's okay to be where you're at. Every journey will need inquiry. So part of what we're doing is we're going to seek inquiry, okay? We're not just abandoning what's going on, okay, but we're examining where we're at. We're seeking inquiry for the next thing. We're remembering the things that we've always wanted to do, always wanted to take care of, things that have happened so that we can be prepared for the things that we're going into. Because moving forward can be a paralyzing activity because it takes us into what we believe is the unknown. When we're unsure of the results or we're unsure of the change that might happen, sometimes we're more apt to stay in a place where we feel comfortable dealing with whatever we're dealing with than moving forward, moving on, moving into what we want to do because we're afraid we may have to face or deal with something that might be a little too much or too challenging or something we haven't faced before. And being unsure if we're able to deal with something that we're unfamiliar with will keep us from moving forward. So remember that you've made it up to this point, okay, even though you might be feeling stuck, and everything you've been through and done to make it up to this point is going to also be the thing that's going to get you to the next point and carry you through whatever uncertainty you think you may be afraid of that's coming. Number 3, answer some basic questions. Who, what, when, why, and how, okay? It all comes together when you begin to answer practical questions, okay? Not just ideal questions, not just emotional questions, not just questions that are based upon what you only hope will happen, right? Um, but your hope needs to be attached to something tangible, okay, so that we can see it be fulfilled, okay, see it be fulfilled. So now that I've got that out the way, and hopefully you're not exhausted, hopefully you're encouraged, okay, to live in forward motion. That's what this LFM brand is all about. Then let's go ahead and get started with the 4 stages that are going to help you keep moving when you're feeling stuck. And this won't take long at all. Look, all you got to do is ride with the valet. Get in. Let's take this journey. All right, this is living in forward motion. 4 things for the journey that are going to help you keep moving when you're feeling stuck, okay? Stage 1. In stage 1, we're going to find ourselves in a spot called prototype, okay? Prototype. If you don't know what a prototype is like a first model. It's like a first example. It's something that gives us vision, imagination, hope, an idea, okay, to where we're going from where we're at. The question you want to ask in your prototype when you're in this stage is, do I have or do I see any practical examples, okay, of something that I want to do or something I want to attempt? If I can find a practical example, maybe hopefully something with at least a step 1 or an entry phase, then we want to go ahead and examine, use that prototype to give us inspiration so that we can take our first step, okay, which is part of the imagination and seeing the thing that we want done, that we want accomplished, the direction, the place that we want to get to. This is our first stage in living in forward motion, and that's using our brain, okay, to be inspired, using our eyes to see the vision, okay, so that we can use our prototype to build our confidence so that we can move forward from the place that we're stuck. All right, so let's talk about stage 2. This is something I learned about stage 2. Stage 2 is all about production. Once we've dealt with the imagination, once we've dealt with the inspiration, we need to take action, okay? We need to produce something ourselves. We need to attempt something ourselves. We need to take action ourselves, and we need to create. Creation is the greatest form of being a human. It starts off with sounds. It starts off with movement, and from there we grow. When we grow in intellect and when we grow in ability, we also grow in vision, okay? We also grow in desire to see and believe and make and create and do things that we see. We're creatures of habit. This is why a child will mimic whoever they see until they're able to do it. And then once they have it, they go beyond it because they're in a phase or a stage of production, okay? They do this almost flawlessly and perfectly. And maybe we can learn from children, but this is going to be something that's going to help us tremendously. We should know that by taking action, whatever action we take will affect how we feel. A lot of times we think, however I feel is simply going to affect my action. But as humans, we have the power to do things that go against how we feel. So if we take this attempt, if we take this action based on our inspiration, no matter what, we'll be able to produce something. And by producing something, that's what we call victory. And this victory is going to spur us on into stage 3. Now, sometimes people get stuck at stage 2. They start producing something. They start feeling worried. They let their imagination get the best of them, and then they abandon ship. Again, this is not an evacuation. We don't need to go back to our prototype phase. We've seen and witnessed the practical experiential example that was already before us. It's our turn to take some steps and make something happen. Stage 2 is production, and this is your turn to get started. Keep living in forward motion because we're going on to stage 3, all right? Right. Now, stage 3 is all about performance. Now, like I said, in stage 2, we get started. We start doing things. We produce something. Now, right now, we're not worried about how good that thing is. We're not worried about perfecting it. We're not worried about getting whatever results we imagined in our heads. All we were simply doing is making something happen. You see, once you've made something happen, you have to do it free. You have to do it naturally. You can't do it stressed out, okay? Because when you do that, you can create the most authentic thing that you were trying. And when you have that, you can look at it for what it is without all the extra outside pressures and influences and say, what is it that I produced? What thing did I do? How is it? Is it bad? That's okay. I can get better. Is it good? That's okay. We could get better. Was it great? Well, that's very good. Now that we know we have something that's great, let's not rock the boat. Like they say, if it's broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So we're going to just keep moving forward with whatever performance, okay, that's already been put into play. Now, the point of looking at our performance is so that we can improve, or so that we can have confidence in the thing that we've produced, okay? We don't need to stress hard over this. This is just one step at a time. We might only need to fix one thing. We might only need to get better at one thing, okay? Because every small victory, okay, aids to our ultimate goal, right, of being unstuck, of moving forward, of living in forward motion from the place that we are to whatever place we're trying to get. And don't forget that a lot of the times the journey is more important than the destination, okay? Sometimes we're so focused on the destination, okay, that we'll overlook what we've already produced and how we've already performed because we're so dead set on something that doesn't even exist yet. Let's just focus on what we do have, what does exist, the thing that we're trying to improve, the thing that is going to make our performance better, because that thing is going to help us to feel better, and that thing is going to help us to keep living in forward motion. The thing that you're performing, okay, is a thing that you want to be proud of, okay? And wherever stage that is okay, because the idea of performance is that we can get better. Because why? Because you've already produced something that we can be proud of because it wasn't there before. Why? Because it was something that we took from a prototype when we were feeling stuck, that gave us some inspiration, okay, that put some wind behind us so that we could take our first step forward and get moving from the place that we were feeling or were stuck in the first place. Let's go on to stage 4, because now that we're already in full swing of motion, all we have to do is keep living in forward motion. Stage 4 coming up next. I'll see you in a second. This is Robert the Valet. Let's do it. So what's the last thing we're going to be doing here? When we're living in forward motion, the last thing we need to do is be persistent. Okay? Be persistent. You've already accomplished the thing that you were trying to do. This is a part that we miss when we're so focused on results that we miss the work that's being done and that has been done. Again, sometimes it's more important the journey and the things that you're doing to get to the place where you want to go than once you've already arrived. Because once you've already arrived, what are you going to have to do? Something new, something more, something else. But our focus is not getting to the destination, okay? Our focus is getting from where we were, which was a place of feeling or being stuck. And in the end, when you're living in forward motion, all you have to do is keep living in forward motion. If you wake up, just live, okay? Because every day is a new day to move forward. Be persistent, okay? You've already got your prototype. You've already produced something. You've already examined the performance, and now you're working on how do I make that better? Or is this something that's good enough to run with? And once you see that, all you have to do is follow the cycle over and over again. You don't ever have to feel stuck again. If now that you've reached your destination, you're saying, what do I do next? Well, find a new prototype. When you find that prototype, get to work. Produce something. Once you produce something, look at that work, improve it, examine it. And once you got something that you are happy with, persist. Keep moving with it. So if you're looking for peace, find a prototype that will inspire peace, okay? And then start to produce things that bring peace to you and bring peace in your life. And then examine whether or not that thing is the peace that you are looking for. And if it is, persist. And if it's not, keep moving so that you can, okay? This is living in forward motion. Not letting anything stop you, not letting anything hold you back, because you don't have to be. You have the power to get from where you are to where you want to be. There are other factors that are going to help, other factors that come into play, other tools that you can use along the way in your process, including people and things and ideas or whatever tool you may have at hand. But a lot of times, we're just feeling stuck, and we need something or someone to say, hey, it's okay. You can get from where you are to where you want to be. That's living in forward motion, and you can do it. My name is Valet Delroy. This is Robert the Valet. I'm glad you've been here for my short talk summary of what it means to keep living in forward motion. And this is living in forward motion. 4 things, 4 stages that are going to help you to keep moving when you're feeling stuck in life. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has blessed you. If so, hit the like, comment, or subscribe. Okay, here. Share it with somebody who may need some encouragement or help. Okay, each video for stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 will break down each part. But this is just a summary I was hoping to share with you. Glad to share with you. Thank you for being here. And we'll catch you on the next series, okay? Let me just put a buzz in your ear. The next series is going to be marked. It's going to be called ACED IT. ACED IT, okay? It's an acronym, okay? But it's called ACED IT. We're going to be talking about the art of effective accomplishment. We're moving, okay? Now let's really get some things done. You can take what's in your mind, turn it into something valuable, tangible, for yourself, for others, okay? All you have to do is be willing, believe, and get to work. I'm Valet Delroy. This is Robert the Valet, and you just finished the first series of Living in Forward Motion. 4 things that are going to keep you moving when you're feeling stuck. I appreciate you. It's all love.